To Shark Tank 2019. This is officially our 6th Shark Tank at the John Cooper School, but the second one where we've been this open to the community, and we're really excited to show all the students' work tonight. I call this a celebration of entrepreneurship at Cooper because I have students here who did Shark Tank last year, so are alums of the Shark Tank. So thank you for being here. Zoe's in the back helping me out, so thank you, Zoe Tate. And then I have some people who survived my Shark Tank camp this summer. So Jack, thank you for being here. So another kid who went through this experience and decided to show up again. Maybe for a few other reasons as well, as his mom happens to be one of our sharks. But thank you for being here, Jack. It's always fun to see you. But again, I want to celebrate entrepreneurship at the John Cooper School, and I want to make sure that we are celebrating good ideas and the fact that these ideas are very much in the infancy stage. They've been working on it for less than a month, and yet they've been working on business-related challenges all year, and so they're having a good time with expanding their knowledge and learning from new opportunities. I'm going to turn the mic over to one of our sharks, Brandon Tirade, who's an alum of John Cooper, and he's going to open up with a few remarks about entrepreneurship in general. So please welcome Brandon.
Right. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you, Danielle, for all that you've done with this experience. I remember 6 years ago, we were over in the library. Still a great experience, but to see how much this has grown and the impact on the kids and see the families and friends, it's been great. So thank you for that. Thank you to the parents and friends who've been here. This is, your support means a lot. I know they're just budding entrepreneurs, but as an entrepreneur myself, I'll take support from wherever it comes from. So it's really important to see, even at the outset, that you guys are here and supporting, so that means a lot. And finally, thank you to the kids, to the students. I graduated from here, and it's a lot of work, it's hard, but the experiences you guys are getting are going to pay off in the long run. So I thank you for your effort so far, and of course, if you have any questions about anything, just a quick bio on me. Graduated from here, did software startups, I've been an entrepreneur my entire short life since law school. So any questions about that, my email's here. I'll be a reference as long as I can. But Danielle asked me to give a few tips about entrepreneurship in my life. And I sat down to write my little notes on this talk a few days ago, and I felt kind of nervous writing it down. I didn't know what it was. Maybe it was, I have a few meetings later on this week, so maybe it was that. Wrote down a few things more, and I still felt this feeling in the pit of my stomach. And I realized that I just don't feel qualified to give advice about entrepreneurship. Not because I haven't had a little bit of success here and there, but this journey and this sort of life advice is so particular to your own experience. It's so particular to what the problems that you guys are facing. And this isn't just an entrepreneurship talk, this is sort of a life talk, but pay attention to people who want to help, but trust your gut in all of these things. So, that being said, I'll just give a few quick tips because I want to give it back to the kids and give you three pointers on entrepreneurship. First off, my first pointer is turn criticism into motivation. I'll tell you a quick story about that. I had a friend of mine years ago who wanted to start a photo sharing app years and years and years ago. And he coded it up and started disseminating out to his friends and asked his girlfriend, hey, I've got this photo sharing app, could you share a picture on it? And she was like, I don't know if I want to do that, which would be devastating to me as an entrepreneur to hear my girlfriend, someone who's supposed to just say, yeah, I'll throw up a photo. She said, no, it wasn't for her. So he was at a crossroads. He was like, can I take this as criticism and feel bad about myself, or turn it into motivation? And instead of feeling bad about himself for too long, I talked to him after, he felt bad about himself for a little while, but he changed something and added a feature to the site called filters. And you guys probably know this website. I don't know if you still use it, but it turned out to be Instagram. And he changed, Instagram started as a site whose co-founder's girlfriend wouldn't even use it. So, no matter what criticisms you find, there's a way to turn it into motivation. Two more quick things. If you enter into this life, and this is life advice, I am a professional failure. I get up every day and fail at a lot of things. I send out emails that don't get responded to. I make business pitches that don't get accepted. So get used to the failure. It's not that it's a bad thing, it's a process. Every failure is a step closer to success. So try to remember that as well. And finally, this may not be the point you want to hear as I'm about to listen to your ideas, but this last point is that your ideas don't really matter. Or at least it's not as much as other people think. Some people guard their ideas, like, oh, this is it, this is the way I think about this idea is the key to success. But ideas are nothing without effort. And what we're going to see today is the results of your effort, and I look forward to it. Thank you. And again, if you guys need anything, email me, call me. I'm here for you guys. So, look forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you, Brandon. As you can see, he's always been a motivational aspect of this whole process. Otherwise, I want to introduce our second shark, and I will not put you on the spot, don't worry. But I do have some LinkedIn photos that I grabbed earlier today, so they are out there. But I wanted to introduce to the crowd Anna-Marie Johnson-Teague, who is here as a returning shark. Both of them were here last year. We had a third shark. And now I limited it just a little bit so it speeds up a bit. But Anna-Marie comes to us as the Chief Communications Officer for A Call to Men. She's responsible for building the organization's brand and shaping the organization's public profile. So what a wonderful match for us to bring in her expertise and her insight on these ideas. And I really value your input on all things. And I'm so thankful that you're here as well. So we are going to get this party started. I want to remind you a few things. One is that the kids will present, the sharks will respond, and we're here just to kind of laugh and create energy throughout the whole thing. Each group has a prototype, so each group has some sort of working prototype. That is one of the expectations of the project. Tonight is not anything that they get a grade on. This is just the experience, and I like to remind them of that it's all for the fun of it all, and I think we'll have some good laughs as we go through. So thank you for being here, and we will get it started.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shark Tank, and of course, welcome back, Sharks. I'm Julia Smorovozova.
I'm Megan Cloninger. I'm Emily Chandler, and this is the Knox Pillow. So, by a show of hands, how many of you feel like you got good quality sleep last night?
So, as we can tell from around the room, not many of us actually feel like we had a good and restful night. While this could be caused by a variety of problems, the problem we chose to focus on today is the lack of melatonin production. So the lack of melatonin production can be caused by various different things, including things such as jet lag and working late. And usually with working late, it comes to looking at a screen or a tablet, and that light coming from your tablet causes the production of melatonin to slow down.
So our solution to this problem is the Knox Pillow. It is a melatonin-infused pillowcase that comes with a refreshing spray. It is designed to help people fall asleep faster and also improve their quality of sleep.
So, what is melatonin? Melatonin is a sleep hormone in your brain that is produced by the pineal gland.
The pineal gland is most active between the hours of 9 p.m. and to 9 a.m. and least active from the hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Like Yulia said earlier, light impedes melatonin production, which can be caused from a variety of things like computer screens, phones, and other objects that we use every day.
So you're probably wondering, how do we actually infuse the melatonin into the pillowcase? Well, we do this through the use of sol gel technology. Sol gel technology is commonly used in aromatherapy pillows and can be used in fabric that is 100% cotton or fabric that is 50-50 cotton and polyester. In our case, we will be using 100% cotton fabric because it is more cost effective. The sol gel itself is a mixture of chemicals that are all biodegradable and non-toxic, of course, and this is where we will mix in the melatonin. When the solution is added to the fabric, the chemicals bond to the fibers in the cotton, which helps the melatonin concentration remain for a long period of time. And also, according to our research, the melatonin concentration would last for about 6 weeks or up to 6 washes, which is why we have the refreshing spray that will replenish the chemicals and also add melatonin as needed.
So after we discovered our problem, we wanted to identify a few archetypes or target customers to target this product to. Our first archetype are people who work late or people who work night shifts. People who work night shifts obviously don't go to bed until the sun is up, and this product will help those people get better quality sleep. Our second archetype is people who travel a lot and people who experience jet lag, as this product will also help with their quality of sleep. And our last archetype is people who have sleeping disorders like insomnia.
And so to further continue our research, we decided to send out a survey. And we asked a variety of different questions, including sleep issues and whether or not a person uses melatonin products. So the first question we asked was, do you have any sleep issues? And it was 50-50 yes and no. Now, the next most important question we asked was, if there was such a thing as a melatonin-infused pillow, would you use it and would you buy it? And we got 70% yes. And this shows us that even if a person doesn't have any sleep issues, they're still willing to buy the product.
So in order to figure out the price of our product, we looked at similar products in order to set a competitive price. The pillowcase itself is priced at $34.99 and the spray is $9.45. Like I said earlier, customers will need to continuously buy the spray in order to replenish the fabric as needed, at least every 6 weeks, if not shorter time period.
And when an individual first buys our product, of course they do have to pay for the pillowcase. However, the spray is going to come free as their first purchase. And it's also going to sort of act as a subscription fee, so once it runs out, we are able to automatically send the next one.
So, why doesn't a melatonin-infused pillowcase exist already? Purely because of its competitors. There are many different melatonin products out there already, for example, pills, gummies, liquids, and even inhalers. So after our research, we discovered that inhalers are actually the most effective way to consume melatonin because it decreases the chances of becoming immune to melatonin and its benefits. So a few of the competitors we researched, number one was the universal lavender-infused pillow. This is very similar to our product because it takes lavender, which is an herb, and infuses it into a pillow. Very similar to how we infuse melatonin into our pillowcase. Next, we had the nature-made melatonin tablets, which is a very easy and cost-effective way to consume melatonin itself. And lastly, we researched Night Pillow, which is a pillow that increases melatonin production and causes many other benefits for your hair, nails, and skin.
All of these products combine aspects of the Knox pillow, but our product really brings it all into one.
So for our market plan, we came up with two different ones, a short-term one and a long-term one. So for the short term, we sort of want to get our name out there as quickly as possible. So that's going to be through Etsy and creating a website. And the website is also for if anyone has any questions and they would like us to clarify them, that's sort of their easy access. Also, our way to reach our customers would be social media and online advertisements. Since we do have a variety of ages, we want to sort of target each of them. So that would be, for example, advertisements on Facebook as well as advertisements on YouTube. And also, of course, word of mouth, because everyone is more willing to buy something that some of their friends have used because they are able to trust that product more rather than a salesperson.
And in the long term, we hope to sell to large stores that specialize in home products, specifically bedding and pillows, such as Mattress Firm or Bed Bath & Beyond. But we also hope to expand to large, more general stores, such as Walmart or Amazon, to really get our product out there.
And that is the Lux Pillow.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Thanks for going first. It's mostly over now. So, I love your idea. First off, I have just an outside question. That survey, who did you ask? Was it classmates?
We asked, we asked a variety of individuals. So we asked our classmates, we asked people middle ages, we asked people above that. So we try to really hit a variety of different ages.
It was sent out on one of my friend's mom's Facebook pages.
Okay. I thought it was just your classmates. That was alarming to me, if 50% of young people. But the fact that there was one, that's just scary to me. I guess I'm now entering what you call, I think, middle age. So that was my first just idea. So I loved it, and one thing that I would just first say in terms of structure, I'd get to that research quicker. I think you put a slide, and this is what it does, and then you went into melatonin. My biggest thing is, does this work? Like, what's the science behind it? Is there some way this is going to work? So I would move that perhaps a little bit closer, a little bit earlier. I think there was a slide in between that issue, but
Okay, thanks, Brandon. Okay, sure. Thank you all. You did a really good job. I thought you did a great job stating the problem up front. I loved how you identified your target audiences. That was great. I think that it's interesting because everything's self-care and wellness. That whole industry is growing. So it's an interesting idea. I'm curious why you chose the name. Can you talk to me about the name?
All right, so we were actually quite stuck on this situation, but then we realized we wanted something to connect to the word night. So Nox means night in Latin.
Okay, great, thank you. I'm also curious, and I did feel like I needed a little more explanation around this, the effectiveness. Like, are you looking for the melatonin to absorb into the skin, and what's the effectiveness of that process?
Our goal was actually for the pillowcase to be able for the person to inhale the melatonin. Based off of our research on inhalers with melatonin in them, it's actually much more beneficial to inhale the product rather than consuming it in the form of a gummy or capsule.
That makes perfect sense. I think that was just missing. I didn't hear that in there, so add that in there, and that connection to like the inhaler part at the end.
My question was like, why not inhalers? So that makes sense. Why? Where are you going for? I did make that more explicit. So I would think about this in a few ways, and I think you asked that survey question about would you buy a pillow, right, with melatonin? That's a good first question, but perhaps the second question is, faced with everything else that's in the market, the gummies, the pills, why would you buy this pillow? If so, why or why not, right? To get an idea of where you actually stand. Because you're not first to market here. You're not the first people offering melatonin. You're offering it against all these other competitors. So that gives you an idea. The survey may come back, no, we wouldn't use your pillow at all, but hopefully you get some customer feedback and understand why. And I think where I would see this product going is, you use this idea of recurring revenue, the subscription model, which is good because I think what you're playing on, if you're in this market with all these options, you are playing on a convenience ploy, right? Like, you don't even have to think about this. You're a forgetful user of this product. And the beauty of that, when you add it to a subscription model is that that forgetful user of the product, once they become a consumer of your product, they're a forgetful consumer as well. So they're not going to cancel if they can't take pill, you're hoping that they won't cancel as well. So that's what all of those subscription companies are banking on, everyone in the room. So maybe check on them every now and then. But I would make sure that you understand your market. And I think with some more pointed questions, you understand your market a little bit better and be able to niche down to that. One more thing, sorry, I'm gonna love notes. That one. I look at, if you're thinking about melatonin, another niche is, melatonin is overdosed a lot. A lot of the prescribed dosage, you guys probably saw this. If you're taking more than, it should be measured in micrograms, not milligrams, right? So I would perhaps understand, based with that knowledge of the market, maybe you can niche down as well and be like, hey, those pills that you're taking, they're off by 100x, 10x, whatever it is. Our system, provides the right amount of dose, which can help some people who try melatonin and feel like a zombie the next day. Perhaps you can use them as a potential source of revenue as well. So just something to think about.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Sharks. I'm Michael McGurk. I'm Stuart Lunch, and we are Epic Fitness. Do you remember the first time you ever went to the gym? Because we sure do. And commonality that we saw with other people is that the experience can actually be very overwhelming at first to beginners in the gym. Mostly because of all the weight machines that work out different muscles of your body. And also with this, you also have this underlying fear of messing up your form in front of regulars and almost making a fool of yourself. And the only thing you really have to help you are these inadequate pictures that don't really show you the full range of motion and don't really give you a good representation of how to perform the exercise. There's also a problem of people misusing equipment a lot. And that can be seen because of social media influencers popularizing certain workouts. For example, on the assisted pull-up machine, a lot of people are now doing leg stompers on it, which is not what it's supposed to be used for. And that actually increases wear and tear on the machine, which no gym wants.
So as Michael mentioned, form is a large issue for a lot of gym goers. So the biggest thing about Epic program is that it offers short and efficient videos to exercisers using the machines themselves. In addition, the program also offers information on how to use the machine itself, while also offering different information on the different grips on the different muscle sets of the body. For example, there's back rows that have two different grips, one working most of the lower back, while the other working most of the upper back. So now we have a short demonstration of the app itself.
Voiceover that normally comes with us.
Okay, so the video would be very short, but mostly it emphasizes the most important movements of the exercise itself. The biggest thing being that they're very short, so we're targeting less than 10 seconds. The next part of the
palms facing downward.
Here we go.
Engage ABS and keep spine straight. Action exhale. Push the handles forward by straightening at the elbows. Inhale. Slowly bend the elbows to return to the start position, with hands near the chest, to complete 1 rep.
Now, of course, those videos would be provided with audio from certified trainers, so it won't sound so creepy like at the bottom. And the next part of the program itself would be the different muscles being used. So, of course, that was the chest press machine, and as you can see on the image, the pec forum muscles are highlighted. And the final part of the program, it would offer a different set and rep information based on the user's physical features such as height, weight, and actual activity experience. So Michael and I developed 3 archetypes, or 3 target customers for our product, 1 being direct and 2 being indirect. So the first would be more direct, would be the gym owners themselves. We'd be selling to them in order for them to provide a more comfortable and a more welcoming environment for new lifters. The second would be users that have really bad form. Users that don't care at all. They don't care if they pull muscle. The goal of their workout is just to get a great workout in before the day ends. And next we would have intimidated gym goers. So consumers that are too afraid to go to the gym because they're too afraid to mess up or they don't know what to do. So of course Epic is a great solution to all 3 of these problems. And if you're having trouble visualizing the device on the machine itself, it would actually be at the user's fingertips. So before they're even beginning their exercise and before they're setting their weights, they would simply just press the tablet that would be right above the weights themselves.
So the value of our product comes in its efficiency with a certified trainer explaining the workout in 10 seconds, as well as the customization. There will be a tablet. The program allows for each machine to be used, so you don't have to set it up, you don't have to scroll through the app to find the machine. On each machine, it'll already be preset. And it's also a lot more affordable than buying a whole new machine, a whole advanced new machine with a tablet already on it. This is just an attachment, which makes it a lot more.
In terms of bringing our product towards the market, in the short term, we'd be targeting more local, personal-owned gyms. For example, this top image is actually a picture of a workout facility from Derek Jonkins, otherwise known as D-Jonk Sport. Derek has a lot of these weight machines that we're targeting, and it'd be ideal before we launch them to more larger corporate gyms because they would provide more feedback for our product so we can make it more tailored to the larger gyms before we actually sell it. And in the long term, we'd like to expand to more corporate gyms, especially Planet Fitness, as their main goal is to advertise and produce workouts that are ideal for beginner lifters, which is kind of lines up with Epic's ideas. And finally, we'd like to expand beyond Houston into more affluent areas and more active areas, such as the women's, like Austin and Dallas.
So as for our competitors, our direct competitors would be app-based fitness programs, which would be around $3, and then personal trainers around $80. And then another product that kind of represents what we're doing is the Tonal, which is just a really big screen with an on-screen trainer that explains how to do the workouts. But it is extremely expensive at $3,000, and this is an at-home device, $3,000. And to access 20% more of their exercises, you actually have to pay $700 more to access it. And then they also have a $50 per month subscription fee to use the trainer on. As well, we have indirect competitors, which are Cybex and the Life Fitness machines. And that is because on each fitness machine, there's actually a QR code that leads you to a video on how to use it, which can be seen right here in the bottom right-hand corner. And it'll bring you to this YouTube video. But from what we can see is that it only has 40,000 views on the YouTube video for a machine that is widely used around the United States. Even my trainer doesn't even know about these QR codes, and he has a job in the gym.
Not only that, those videos are actually 42 seconds long, so it's really inefficient if you think about it. So that's why we're aiming for very short videos. And we actually had the opportunity to prove our concept, and Mike had the opportunity to interview this trainer.
Yes, so my trainer actually believed this was pretty good because he gets a lot of questions from people coming in about how to use machines, and he thought that there's a lot of value in the fact that we can give short, efficient videos, and that would actually make a lot more beginners comfortable and in the gym.
And in addition, I had the opportunity to interview the fitness director at Villa Sport, a local workout facility. And she said that a lot of gyms are actually moving towards more of a technological future. So a lot of exercises are actually more interested in audio-visual learning rather than reading a description of how to use a machine herself. She actually said that she started reading a description of a workout machine and instead chose to walk away because it was just too much.
As for marketing, we're going to go directly to gyms, mostly because we're not selling to like the population. We're just selling to gyms themselves. So you can't really do advertising to people. And we can also be using word of mouth with first starting off again with the privately owned gyms, and then using our success there to go expand beyond. And also show that there's a lot of value in having beginners feel more comfortable in their gym. So our product is to give value to the gym. We also thought about going to a fitness convention, which is the IHRSA International Convention Trade Show, which in the description it says that it allows for a lot of networking opportunities. As well, it's a must in the fitness industry, and that happens around March. As for indirect, we again wanted to partner with one brand gym in particular, Planet Fitness, because their mentality of supporting beginners, which can be seen in that back of that image where just Planet Fitness equals no critiques. Their gym is also full of just weight machines and no free weights as well, so it's perfect for our product. We also, the perfect time we thought for marketing our product to gyms would be during the summertime and New Year's, because during the summertime, everyone's just going to the gym, and most of our beginners just try and get their summer bod going. And then by New Year's, the New Year's resolution, their mentality of New Year, New Me, they get a gym membership.
In terms of pricing, we like to price our good at around $308. A per unit cost of $175 with an initial 75% markup would result in that price. Targeting around 1,000 units from our first years of sales would result in a profit of around $155. And offering a 10% discount to those who buy in bulk would result in a product of around $121,000. Thank you for your time.
Good job, Michael and Stuart. Thank you for that. I'm going to start. I've got a lot of things. Well-stated problem. I think it's relatable. It's relatable. I personally relate to feeling overwhelmed in the gym at times. So I think that's you've got that working for you. I'm curious about the name. You said Epic.
I was hoping you'd ask about that.
Talk to me about the spelling versus punctuation. I mean, yeah, pronunciation and why you chose to go that route.
So Epic is defined as like a really high point in a person's life, so that short period of time, and that's really kind of people's goals when they're exercising. They want that kind of really quick peak of their kind of physical shape and their physical body, and that's where our slogan comes in of reach your peak. So that's kind of what that comes into play. Also, our logo is a mountain.
Yeah, but tell me, Epic, EPIC versus the spelling that you chose.
As in the EPOC.
Yeah.
That's the formal word for that. Not just the definition.
Interesting. Okay.
It's also a play on words, so it's kind of like epic, but not epic.
Gotcha. Okay. So I think you're really smart to market to gyms because that marketing to consumer avenue is so super saturated with just options on your phone, with trainers, everything. I think that it would be interesting for you to pull some research that validates that increasing beginners' knowledge results in them sticking with their workout regimen. I think you could probably find that, pop it in there, and it would just be a further proof point as you talk to gym owners. And then I'm curious, have you done the math on how many, because you said you want to start local, how many gyms it would take you to reach your initial sales goal? I don't know how many machines are in a gym, so how does that work out?
Yeah, so we thought the average amount of machines per gym would be around 20. So we haven't calculated the exact amount of gyms in the Woodlands, but we know that it's a highly affluent, a highly active area, so that's why we're going to start small, and that's kind of our logic behind that, but we haven't really found out the exact numbers of that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the name. I know there's two different, there's Epic and there's Epic, but when you don't have it behind you, you say, oh, go to epicfitness.com, and you don't own EPIC, they're going to epicfitness.com. See, names, I actually just had this conversation with someone before. Someone wanted to pick like a cute name, and like it's like a joke, but the joke will be on you eventually if you do that joke. So you're in a very crowded space, which is good, and this is the right time of the year to start thinking about this. I didn't quite understand. Well, I think you hid the functionality, like actually what you do. Probably a little too late. I think there was you explained the problem a lot, but then I didn't understand quickly how you were going to solve this. And it might be in your presentation, hey, Epic is we do this, 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 and then get into the problem and then go back to that solution. I just felt kind of disjointed a little bit. The voiceover.
Yes, so yeah, as we mentioned, the thing is that how the demo was created was actually like it didn't have any option for like a manual voiceover. It only had computerized. So of course that wouldn't be so creepy, but it's a lot.
I think if it's creepy, just leave it out and use your guys, both your voices. I didn't think they were creepy, so I would just use those as opposed to the creepy ones. So I think, who do you think your audience is? Who are you going to sell this to?
Gym owners.
Gym owners, right? So I would put that, this may be sort of in your marketing, but I wanted to know the economics for a gym owner. I'm not a gym owner, so in order for this product to survive, it has to be economical for the gym owner. If they have X amount of machines, like you guys were talking about, what's the return on that investment? We understand your guys' return, but what is your consumer? What is the benefit for them? I'd want to know that if I was thinking about investing. I like your guys, the attention span, as you know, as we become more phone oriented, I think it's important to play off those changes in the consumer base. So I like products who are on the cutting edge of that change. And also, this going back to ideas don't matter. This idea they've been trying to solve this from back when I was in high school. Like, how do we have technology in with the gym? And you made a great slide of that QR code. Based off the technology at the time when people were thinking about QR codes, this wasn't really possible. But perhaps now there's something that has changed with the technology and changed with the consumer base that you can play off on. So I like that. I like that a lot. So I would, when you're in that sort of cutting edge, I would be aware of that and then make sure that that follows through on every sort of portion of your presentation.
Yeah, good job, guys. I would just add, piggybacking on that and that research that can validate, like if you can convince a gym owner that 1,000 of those new signups from New Year's are going to stick around or half of them are going to actually stick around because this technology is going to keep them in the gym, then I think that's a major selling point for you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Alrighty, so thank you all again for coming out. My name is Caleb Burton.
I'm Aiden O'Neill.
And I'm Tani Basir, and this is our Shark Tank business pitch for the Ready Bag.
Alrighty, so now it is time for Aiden to take out the trash. Oh, no, not yet. Annie, there's not a trash bag in there. I almost forgot. It's alright, bud. It's alright. So how many of y'all have actually had this problem happen? Quite a bit. Yeah? Okay. Well, now we have a wonderful solution, which is Ready Bag. Alrighty, so what is Ready Bag? Ready Bag is a dispenser for trash bags that is placed at the bottom of the trash can. And and there you go.
Good.
So why choose Ready Bag over our competitors? Our extension is odor resistant as well as liquid resistant, and our idea is very unique and helpful at the same time.
Alright, so we all know that there is definitely a simpler way to do this. You can just put any regular old trash bag in the bottom of the trash can and just pull it up that way. By show of hands, many of y'all actually do that. Oh wow, innovative group. Anyways, the survey that we took outside of this, we found out that there were only 3 out of 20 people that actually did this. We surveyed our neighbors actually for this one, and
after finding out that data, we started to find out a specific market that we want to target, and we found that honestly, our popular markets have every household has a trash can in it, and that means our product will be useful there. But if we want to go outside the household, some good markets to target would be schools, office buildings, and like hospitals, things like that, because they go through so many trash bags in a day. And because we are going to be so popular in the trash bag industry, we're going to have 3 very large competitors. These are Uline, Hefty, and Glad. These are 3 of the biggest trash bag companies out there right now. So when we initially create our product, the cost for making it, we predict will be about $1.40. So we're hoping to sell each individual unit of 30 bags for $2.59, which won't be a crazy profit, but it'll be very cheap for customers.
So with regards to the channels for our business, first channel will be with the word of mouth. Word of mouth will be very important in getting our name out there with regards to our customers, as well as through advertising on online websites, retail websites such as Target and Walmart. So in the long term, we also plan to advertise or to sell our product on Amazon. With regards to the value proposition, our first value proposition is ease of access. It makes the process of replacing the trash bags much more efficient, as well as performance. Performance makes the process much faster.
So for our growth plan, we have decided to, one of y'all grab that. We decided to take the ready bag, like so, and we put a compartment on the bottom of a trash can. So we'll go in, there's an opening right here, you can't see. And it also has a hole in the middle of it, on the bottom. Alright, so we slide this in, the lid closed. Cool. Thank you. Slide it in, and now we have the tab in the middle of the trash can. All you gotta do, open that tab, pull out a trash bag, it up, put it on, and you're good to go. And that's our future plan. We have decided to sell this for a cheaper price than most trash cans. This is just for us to get better acceptance within the market, and it kind of brings up the idea of razors and razor blades. Can't shave without the blade. You need the razor to do so. So it's kind of like a trash can. You have to have the trash bag to put the trash in the trash can. And thank you. That's ready bag.
Your slogan, is there a reason why you didn't use it? Or did you use it and I missed it?
We didn't. Okay. No, we did not use it. There were complications. It took a while. We had some that didn't exactly fit.
No, yeah, no, I'm sorry, not your logo, your little statement. Think once, think twice, think trash.
Yes.
Is there a reason why you didn't use that?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just thought we could find a better one, but
yeah. I don't know if you want to end with think trash. I thought there was a reason why. So I like this idea because it's, everyone does it, like you said, right? Everyone takes out the trash. But you reminded me of a saying that we learn in law school is don't ever ask a question to which you aren't 100% certain of the answer. So when you asked how many people have done this thing that would make you not buy my product, and a lot of people raise their hands, that can be an issue. So stick with if your survey results were what you wanted to use, stick with the survey results. Don't poll the jury, because you don't know what they're going to say. So we had 2 demos here. We had the first demo, and then we have this demo here. So explain to me the difference between these two, the first product and this new product.
So the ready bag, the actual like silver box, it'll be our first plan, and that's just going to be placed in any trash can. Any trash can that it fits in, which is most trash cans. It'll have the same lid on it, and you just pull the trash bag out and put it out. That's really so you don't have to like walk over to the sink and go under it and get another trash bag and plug it up and put it in. That's just so you can pull it up and put it on. And
I'll stop you right there. So I'm trying to understand what is better than just putting the trash bags in the bottom on your first product.
It's the box that it comes in with the lid on it. So when stuff spills in there, then it won't like contaminate the other trash bags. It won't.
I would drive home that point, because it's a tough point to make, and maybe you did, and maybe I missed it, because I was jotting down notes. But yeah, if your competition is free and it's something that a lot of people use, or at least they raise their hands, I would think about either differentiating yourself somehow. So that would be the first thing.
Sure. Okay. So I really like the name. I think the name speaks to the product. I thought that made a whole lot of sense. It resonated quickly. You got it. So I thought that was really good. I was struggling in the first part of your presentation. I echo all the things on smoothness and don't ask the question and let's make sure the box is going to fit and all that stuff so that you guys look sharp up there, and that there's no hiccups. But I didn't quite understand that we're going to do this first and then how much later are we going to do this, or are they going to be available at the same time? And if not, this one seems like it might be the more innovative way to go. Why not just do this? Talk to me about y'all's thinking there.
Well, really we thought of this as a growth plan because we weren't sure how well it would do in the market. And if we can get our name out there first with just a little ready bag, then I feel like we have a better chance of actually selling this product.
Are your ready bags more expensive than, if I'm going to buy 100 ready bags, are they more expensive than 100 trash bags?
Not exactly. We actually did research. We found that in China, they were selling them by like the ton. And it was about $1,900 by the ton. And when you do that, it comes out to about 3 cents per bag. And we kind of stick with that. And we also added about 50 cents more just for the packaging and the shipping part of it with that lid.
Okay, so it's not going to cost me any more to get them in a...
Not a whole lot more.
Not a whole lot more. And is the quality, if you're getting them from China for whatever a ton, are they going to bust?
I hope not. But if they do, you have the ready bag little lid on there.
Okay.
Oh, it's back on. I know you guys said like, everyone is your market. That is, we can just sell this to everyone who has a trash bag. That's the death knell of startups. When they say everyone is our market, then it just doesn't really work out that way. I know it seems interesting because you have such a huge market. If I could just get 1% of the market, that'd be great. But a lot of people do this, and I've done it before. But I would niche down into, there are a lot of people with this problem, and there are a lot of people who have something unique about their trash experience, as weird as it sounds. I would niche down. Don't go for the big, everyone has this market, and we're just gonna use this solution. Niche down, so someone raised their hand and like, oh, I take out the trash, and when you have a niche down product, you're directly speaking to someone. This doesn't necessarily speak to me, but try and find a product that does, because there's something there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello Sharks, I'm Austin Sargis.
And I'm Peyton Meyer.
And today we're going to be presenting Color Clean.
So, we have a problem on our hands.
Literally.
So, according to the CDC, 95% of people cannot wash their hands properly, at least enough to get rid of harmful bacteria.
Another problem we came across was hand sanitizer. Now, hand sanitizer is a healthy way of cleaning your hands, but it discourages actually washing your hands. And when there's no hand sanitizer around, there is people do not know how to properly clean their hands.
All right, so our solution is the Color Clean hand washing system. So, as you can see, it would be like a cone that would clip onto the faucet. And you would have a soap pump trigger. And once you press the trigger, lights would start to come on for about 20 seconds, which is the time that the CDC recommends to thoroughly wash your hands. And the thing is, it definitely encourages good hygiene because you can't get soap off your hands without washing them. And I know you all can't see it, but there is a light.
Yeah, the water's running down, there's the light.
Yeah. And it changes color until you're done. 20 seconds. All right, so our value propositions. So it's fun. I mean, who doesn't like changing colors, especially young children, which is our target market. And it's effective because it keeps kids engaged and wanting to wash their hands rather than, I don't really want to do that.
It is also effective because of the 20-second runtime. The CDC says that is the most efficient time to run your hands underneath the water. And this can be compared to tunes. It was a early console. It was like a toothbrush that would play music while you're washing your teeth or brushing your teeth. And it was mainly set for 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, young kids. It taught them good practice on how to brush your teeth, which they use very well. We collected data. We went to the lower school and we interviewed 30 kids. 26 of them said yes, 4 of them said no. I don't know why.
All right, so our competition. Well, I mean, you could sing the alphabet song for 20 seconds. So like, I mean, you do that till you're 30. I mean, and then you could wear rubber gloves all the time, but like, the penguins don't need more things to choke on, right?
And we also have Intelitech. Intelitech is a timer basically that you have to press when you start washing your washing your hands, and it puts germs on the actual timer when you touch it. Then you wash your hands and then you click it to turn off. This is not effective because once you click it, it's going to reinfect yourself, making the wash ineffective. So our price point would be $49.95. It's really cheap in comparison to the other companies we found, and it also we would offer bulk discounts for schools, restaurants, and so on and so forth. It would be to 10 to 20% depending on how many units they bought.
Oh yeah, less germs are prices. All right, so our marketing plan. We would like to start with local schools like John Cooper, and we would like to advertise to lower schools, middle schools, things like that, where you would like good hygiene to be employed and where bad behaviors are still able to be corrected. We would like to use that to spread by word of mouth to their house, where get their parents buying it in their home, and then hopefully the parents would get it into their workplace. Thank you. That was Color Clean.
Well, I like this idea a lot, and it is an idea that I initially thought were marketing to hospitals. That's what first came into my mind. But then later on, I figured out your target market is kids. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Kids.
So I would understand why don't people wash their hands, right? That's what you're trying to say. So the answer for hospitals may be different than the answer for kids, right? And I think the reason why you're marketing to kids is the color aspect, and it's my understanding that they get color on their hands, or how does that work?
It's like flashing light.
Okay.
So it would just change colors like a rainbow until the end of 20 seconds.
Okay.
So it encourages them to just keep the center out there.
Yeah. So I would put that this is a device for kids, mucher. Because I thought, I didn't really know until you mentioned a few slides in, when we're talking about kids, that this is our target market. It should be target market kids, because the solution for someone who wants to buy this or a hospital is a little bit different than the solution for kids. And I think I like that it's niched down to kids, because it allows you to be stand out in the market a little bit more. You guys have never, of course, or maybe who knows what's going on with Cooper kids these days. You guys have never remodeled a house, correct? Okay, so yeah, you never know. But as someone who has a house, I don't have kids yet, but asking them to have a separate apparatus for the kids to wash their hands is a little bit much. But perhaps there's a way to have this to be attachable some way. Like, oh, this retrofits onto your sink. Have you guys thought about something like that?
It actually is attachable. I maybe we didn't make that fully clear, but this is an actual attachment part. So this would be the sink. So it would just be $49.95 for this.
Okay.
And it wouldn't matter what type of sink you could just click it.
Okay. There you go.
Batteries.
Yes,
for the lights.
I'm glad you guys did think about that. I would make that much more clear. Just because kids don't stay kids forever, they want you don't want to have something actually physically attached, irremovable from the house.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make it a trend for the night and start on the name for everybody. Color Clean, I like that a lot. I think on the tagline, changing hygiene one faucet at a time, when he first brought it up and I read the tagline, I thought it was like a hardware something, that it was an upgrade for the faucet, not necessarily solving this more socially problem. So I would think about the tagline and how you can maybe refine it, include kids in the tagline, just be a little more explicit there where you can. If your target market for sales is schools, I think you're going to need to think through why a school is going to make this investment. Is it going to decrease sick days, or what is the benefit to the school that you're trying to provide that's going to make them make that investment? These school budgets are super tight, even in a well-funded place like this. So I think through that.
Thank you.
Good evening, Sharks. My name is Salvin Karana.
I'm Jacob Haley.
And I'm Cameron Reed. And we are Vital,
the sleeve that relieves.
All athletes are susceptible to some form of pain or soreness due to their physical activity. But it's difficult to find a product that effectively alleviates pain without it compromising one's performance. Considering that we all compete in our own respective sports, this is a conflict that each of us have been faced with. Some of us a bit more than others. But nonetheless, we were determined to develop a product that emphasized both relief and performance.
And so that's how we created Vital, or CBD-infused compression sleeves. So I just said CBD, so no, we're not trying to sell marijuana up here. CBD, also known as cannabinoid, is a completely legal molecule that is produced by the cannabis family to be sold to anybody. The big thing about it is that it is non-psychoactive, so there is no high that's associated with it. And how it actually works is there is an endocannabinoid system within the body, and basically once you ingest or rub it on CBD, it reacts with this system, and so it will reduce inflammation or pain associated with a part of the body.
So how does this work with Vital? All of our compression fabrics are strategically infused with microscopic CBD droplets through a process called microencapsulation. In this process, each individual CBD droplet is coated with a thin polymer fabric layer that protects the CBD until its release. The CBD is released when the athlete's skin moves up against the fabric and creates friction. So now, I bet you're dying to see how these products look on actual athletes. So I'd like to introduce you to our models, Jack and Alexis. So Jack here is wearing our Vital arm sleeve and hamstring sleeve, and Alexis is wearing our Vital leg sleeve. But they're not only models for the night, they're also serving as our physical archetypes. So Active Alexis is a college-age leisure athlete that loves to play recreational softball on Saturday nights. But sadly, a nagging leg injury has kept her out of the sport for the past couple of months, and she's itching to get back in the game. Devoted Dowd here is the superstar high school athlete that is doing whatever it takes to get that college scholarship. Dowd wakes up at 4 in the morning to get his first workout in of the day, and stays at school until 8 p.m. at night in order to make sure that he's going to be the best in his competition.
So our value proposition is to provide customers with an innovative technology in the compression wear industry by using CBD to do so.
So in order to validate our idea, we got in touch with our local Lululemon store because we feel as though they've excelled in the activewear market, and the employee that we got in touch with was clearly in love with our idea.
Our greatest marketing strategy will come from social media such as Instagram, where we can promote the product through influencers who reach our specific archetypes, and by partnering with local businesses, we'll be able to make the product more accessible to potential customers.
Something great about Vital is that it is completely unique to the market. There are companies that have similar ideas and products, but none use the exact same technology that we do and offer the exact same products. So to start, we have Akabata. Akabata is the only other CBD-infused clothing line out there. However, their products are only marketed towards women. So they do not market towards all genders, and they lack sole compression sleeves like we showed on our models. Second, we have Copperfit. Copperfit offers compression sleeves that work as relief while you are playing your sport, but they do not use our CBD technology. Finally, we have Free Sleeve. Free Sleeve uses an icing method in an arm sleeve that helps athletes recover while they're still playing their sport. But honestly, the sleeve is far too bulky to reasonably use while you're performing.
And so initially, we're looking at releasing 3 products. So we'll have our Vital elbow sleeve or arm sleeve, which we're going to sell for about $44.99. And then we'll also have our Vital hamstring sleeve, which will be about $39.99, and the Vital calf sleeve, which would be $39.99. And then looking forward for our company, we would like to try and be able to make our products out of reusable resources such as plastic or leftover waste, so that we kind of go towards that green idea, and especially considering we're advertising towards a younger audience, that would really help our image and attract people that are going towards more green. And then we're also looking at advancing the technology that we're using for this product so that we don't have to worry about a usage time and even just prolonging it even more. And then also looking at maybe providing even a wider range of compression options to really get at any pain that somebody's enduring during activity.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. That's really interesting. I like this idea. And in a sea of CBD products that we're all being bombarded with right now, I haven't seen anything like this. It's super interesting. I would love to see the efficacy, like anything that speaks to the efficacy of skin absorption. I think you did a really good job explaining the science and the process, and you broke that down a little bit, but I'd love to see some research that validates that. I think you spoke really well to relief and the pain piece. Performance, maybe it's just a given that a sleeve increases performance? I mean, is that just kind of common knowledge enough that it doesn't need to be mentioned?
Well, one of the things that I meant when I said performance is that like a lot of our competitors are super bulky, so they kind of hinder an athlete from, I guess, performing at the level that they were used to without needing any sort of appliance. And our arm sleeve sort of differs from that in the sense that it's skin tight, so it won't really restrict an athlete from their sport or whatever they have.
Okay, I think making that more clear in the presentation would be helpful to somebody like me, for sure. Like the green strategy, love the influencer marketing. I'm curious, when you said you're going to market to local businesses, talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, our idea with local businesses is that, using local gyms or, a local Pilates studio or something to just get out the product and make it more accessible. Just, it's right here. And of course, people that do instructions like that, personal trainers are great, kind of influences that we're looking for.
One more question, your price point. I know that you're unique in the market, but if I'm going out looking for a compression sleeve, how much more is it going to cost me to get one with CBD? Like, is the variation enough where it's an easy decision for me to upgrade?
I mean, we looked at it as about a $10 increase compared to your average, because mostly a lot of those products sit around $20 to $30. So it's not a huge jump. But that's really what we mostly looked at. It's just what other people are pricing theirs at.
So again, I think I harp on this a lot. I wouldn't hide that it's CBD. I know, again, state your solution a little bit quicker, because I think you sort of teased a little bit over athletes. Oh, compression, we want to be the best, and here's our solution. I would just, I think, maybe your second and third slide, I might put your bio stuff a little bit later. I want to know what this is as quickly as possible. Those are what I'm thinking about. So you guys mentioned a few of your competitors, only one of them was CBD infused.
Akabata is the only clothing company that has CBD infused in their fabrics on the market.
Okay. And how long is this, I mean, as someone who's interested in this, how long does CBD, how long would that sleeve be useful?
So it lasts through 40 wash and ready cycles. So the idea behind the compression sleeves is that with Akabata's clothing and the yoga, that's typically something you wash after each wear, is what we would hope. But with compression arm sleeves, one baseball game does not require a wash. So ideally, it would be 40 wash and ready cycles, but that's not necessarily 40 wears or just one season of baseball. They could last much longer than that.
Is there any research on the efficacy of the claim that CBD is well infused through the skin in this manner? Is there anything on Akabata's side on that, or I know you guys aren't talking.
I mean, they claim it. There isn't a lot of research on it, and that's kind of like the one thing is like, how do we make sure that this actually works?
Yeah, I think that's a way to differentiate yourself, because when I first see this, as we mentioned before, there's a lot of CBD stuff. CBD will cure everything from like a hangnail to who knows what else, right? So I think a lot of people come into this industry, and especially if you're talking about people who care about performance, they're gonna be like, okay, I only have so many hours in the day, and I want to, heal my knee or my leg. I mean, if someone gave you a remedy, I think you'd be like, okay, is this going to work, right? I only, am I going to take away from PT to wear this, or you're going to go with what's proven, right? So try to differentiate yourself in that aspect if it's a little bit lacking in your competitors. And one more thing. So you guys mentioned a few competitors, but I think perhaps the more obvious and perhaps is hiding in plain sight, the other competitor is a compression sleeve plus CBD lotion, right? So I would differentiate yourself on that, right? Like, put yourself in the mind space, and I love what you guys did. This is something, you could be the first consumers of this, so it allows you to be in the mind of your consumer, but think also like, okay, why won't I use this, right? Like, why wouldn't I use that? So,
That's where the idea kind of was harvested. As a baseball player with several arm injuries, too many at this point, last year my remedy was compression arm sleeve and CBD lotion before every baseball game. And what I realized was that I would apply the lotion usually about 20 minutes before the start of each game, and my shoulder felt great, my elbow felt great. But as the game went on, it wore off, and my elbow got aggravated very quickly. And I think the idea is that I'm not going to want to reapply lotion after each inning, because those little tiny bottles of CBD lotion are expensive. And if I'm wasting it and also sharing it with my teammates, that is not very great for my parents' funds. So the idea was that we would have an arm sleeve that would not require any reapplication. It would be using the CBD technology while I wore the sleeve and while the game continued on.
That should be in your presentation. Like that right there, what you just said, that should be in your presentation, right? And it just goes to show that the idea behind business is to sort of get into the mind of your consumer. And luckily you guys are already there. So that would have been, I'm glad that you said it, but it connects all the dots for everyone, because it connects the dots in your mind, so.
So that concludes our program. Thank you so much for being here. We had some refreshments to celebrate. Again, a night of entrepreneurship. Thank you one more time for our sharks. Sincerely mean it that this whole process doesn't happen unless we know we have an authentic audience like you guys, and of course having their friends and family here as well is awesome. And thank you to the students for being vulnerable to this wonderful experience and open-minded to partake in this class. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.